They were like, Cal Katarn blocked you, and he blocked any other black person that was saying something because he can't be seen arguing with a black person.
Oh, what? Are you kidding me?
Those that preach the loudest have the most to hide. I have been saying that for years and years, and every single day, the internet just continues to prove me right. And here we have Kyle Katarn, Star Wars YouTuber, Acolyte lover, and false flagger Kyle Katarn. And as you see right there, there's his tweet joining in on the coordinated hate campaign. It's time to be part of the solution, Team YouTube. While you continue to allow these channels to be monetized, you are incentivizing hatred and racism. Well, Kyle Katarn, we got a little video here from over on Derek Anderson's YouTube channel, and he's got Kata. If you don't know Kata, first of all, I will have links to both of their channels, Derek Anderson and Kata. Maybe we can get Derek Anderson to 20,000 subscribers, and maybe we can get Kata to maybe 3,000 subscribers. We'll see. Kata's doing great work, as is Derek Anderson. Kata's been following Geeks and Gamers for a long time now. But let's listen in. This is going to blow the lid off of all of this and show you exactly what's been going on with these Star Wars fans that are preaching about diversity, inclusion, and representation right here.
What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check it out, man. I clipped out this piece of the conversation that I had on the nightcap with Kata, who, by the way, just passed 1,000 subs. He's already on his way to 2,000 subs. Make sure you can go over there and support the brother and subscribe to him. He's doing absolutely great work right now. But we were talking about this whole situation with the attempted demonetization of Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers, and Ryan Kennel, and Star Wars Theory, actually, for that matter, and the fallout from all of that when it comes to this Disney Star Wars shills that are out there, Star Wars Explained and Kyle Katarn, and how these guys move and why they move the way that they move. So listen to this clip, and then I'm going to have a piece to say on the back end of it.
What was cooler was, like, the video I did today. I did that one because, like, a few days ago, somebody, I'm not going to say who, because people keep asking me for my source. I won't ever tell you my source. Reached out to me, and they're in that camp. Like, they're in that, like, little sphere of Disney Star Wars shills. And, like, they see the hypocrisy and things that's going on. They don't like to speak out. Understandable. They were like, hey, I saw you got blocked by Cal Katarn, and I know why, because he said why. And I'm like, you know, I'm not the kind of person to distrust people. So I'm like, okay, you know, before you tell me what you say, just vet yourself real quick. They vetted themselves. I was like, okay, cool. So what's happening? They were like, Cal Katarn blocked you, and he blocked any other black person that was saying something because he can't be seen arguing with a black person.
Oh, what? Are you kidding me?
This is Disney Star Wars right here. This is a leftist right here. I have been saying this for years, that the way that they view non-white dudes, because it's easy to dismiss somebody like me. It's easy to go, oh, that toxic white guy right there who hates everything Disney Star Wars and chalks it up to that. That's real easy for them. They really fear a non-white dude that disagrees with them. And as I've said, they view non-white dudes as chess pieces, essentially. If they can use them to their advantage, they will worship them, they will prance them around, and they will tell everyone how wonderful they are. But the moment that they find a non-white dude that disagrees with them in any capacity, they cast them out and they try to act like they do not exist. Because the existence of a non-white dude that has the similar opinions than me destroys these leftist narratives by their sheer existence. So you can't have somebody like Kata in his replies arguing with him. Because Kyle Katarn's sitting here telling you how, oh man, the only people that hate this are these toxic white guys, and they're angry and they're racist. And then you got Kata in his replies, and he's like, bro, I hate this, and I'm a fan of these guys, and I've been supporting them for years. Well, that you can't have that, because it's a house of cards. That's all it is. Holy shit, this is amazing.
I'm not. I like, when they told me that, I was crying laughing. Like, my girl walked in, she's like, you okay? Because, like, it was one of those belly dad laughs. Because I was like, no fucking way, that's serious. And they were like, yes. Like, they were like, he blocked you. He blocked a couple other people because y'all are blacker individuals and he can't be seen going back and forth with you because he'd be deemed as a racist. So I was like, what?
Bro, listen, imagine viewing black people as someone that you can't have a conversation with if they disagree with you. That is racist. Holy crap. This is unbelievable. It's not surprising to someone like me that's been talking about this for years, but it's great that we're actually seeing now, because of the virtue signaling, because of the virtue signaling nonsense from this clown right here who tagged Team YouTube and tried to have our channels taken down because they disagree with us. It's good to actually see that they're actually doing the very thing that I've been saying they've been doing for a long time. I've talked about this for years. These guys, like they say, like Jeremy from Geeks Gamers doesn't like when black people are in his movies. Bro, they couldn't handle the movies and the music that I watched and listened to growing up. They couldn't handle Menace to Society or Above the Rim or Boys in the Hood or something like that. There's no way. Juice with Tupac. There's no way. They couldn't handle Tupac's music or Too Short's music or Rakim. They could never handle this stuff. They would cry their leftist eyes out. It's why they hated the, was it a 2019 Samuel L. Jackson Shaft movie? The critics hated it. Go look it up. I've talked about it many times. The critics hated that movie and the fans loved it. Do you know why? Because it's an actual look into a black perspective into a movie. And a lot of offensive stuff is in that movie by the mind of the leftist weirdo. But the reality of it is there were just some harsh truths in that movie. And it was an all-black cast. It was a black director. The whole cast was black. And everybody that watched it liked it, except for the critics. I guess the critics were just intimidated by black people. How dare you hate on an all-black movie? It's amazing why we didn't have that movie celebrated for an all-black cast and an all-black director. Why? Because the narrative in the movie does not line up with the leftists. So they just act like it doesn't exist every single time.
What? Are you serious? Like, are you joking? Or are you being serious?
That guy is, I mean, he screams beta male, man.
100%.
I wasn't surprised.
Simp.
I wasn't surprised.
No, and you're really not. You're really not surprised when you see cats that, you know, kind of comport themselves in public the way that he does and all of the shit that he's been saying. And then to hear that news, it's not surprising whatsoever. So this cat can't be caught arguing with a black man. Because if he argues with a black man, he's going to be called a racist. And again, this is the type of, man, it's so funny.
That's the
man.
kind of
BA wants
but this
to
is
say
their
something.
thought process that, you know, they gotta bend the knee. Like, yo, I'm not anything special. All right, you can argue with me if you think I'm wrong. Say I'm wrong. You know, I don't have a problem with that.
I
You know,
said
we
it in
can
the
go
video.
back and forth with the facts.
But that's the thing, is they don't think you're worth a conversation to them because they don't view you as a human being. They view you as a chess piece. And if they can use you to their advantage, you're as good as gold with them. But if they can't, you need to be cast out, and your existence never needs to be acknowledged. That's Disney Star Wars fandom to a T.
I will have a discourse with you. Like, if you wanted to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. I mean, you might not like what I say, but I'm not trying to like have any. I'm not trying to like y'all are funny as hell, bro.
We got that black bro magic, man. We scared this cat before we don't even have to have a conversation with him, man. This cat is scared to death.
Scared.
What a simp, man. What a fucking simp.
The crazy, I would talk to him. I really would. Like, just to have, I would ask legitimate questions and have a real conversation. But the fact that you won't even do it because I'm black and you're white, this shows that you don't believe in anything you're saying.
Nope.
Because how do you believe in equality? How do you believe in like free speech and like love and all and things like that if you can't even have a conversation with somebody who's black and has a different opinion than you? You know what I mean?
Wild.
So when he told me that, or the person told me that, I was like, wow,
So just to recap, ladies and gentlemen, all right, this cat, Kyle Katarn, is, blocking Kata because Kata is black and he can't be seen having some sort of a disagreement or an argument that might get a little bit heated with a black man. Otherwise, he'll be labeled a racist. So there's a couple of takeaways. Number one, he's afraid to have a substantive conversation. And then number two, it also shows a lack of respect for black people.
Yes.
Like they got to treat us like pets. That's what I've always said. These idiots, all right? These are the real racists. This man blocks another man because of his skin color. He'll get into it with other people and maybe not block them. I don't know. But before he even gets into it with Kata, blocked. Why? Because he's black, according to Kata's source. That's beta male behavior. That is trash behavior. What could be more racist than that? When you straight up block another person because of their skin color. And the thing about it is, it's because he's worried about what other people will think. He's worried about what other people will say about him. And it's like, if you worry about what other people are going to say about you, to be honest with you, and you're constantly editing yourself and constantly, no, I can't say this, and you're kind of holding back, you don't even know what you truly believe.
That's 100% right, man. I couldn't imagine being in that situation where I'm constantly worried about, well, I can't have a conversation with this person because of the color of their skin, because I might be called racist. God, what a twisted mindset these leftists have. And they live in such a weird world where this is the result of it, that you determine who you can or can't talk to based on their skin color. That's called racist.
You really don't know what you believe. Your opinions haven't really been tested, and you're constantly editing yourself because you're worried about what other people are going to think about what it is you have to say. You have not tested yourself out there in the world of ideas and opinions.
100%.
That's the worst part about it, man. And this cat is out here, like, how could you legitimately take this man's opinions, Star Wars opinions or otherwise, how could you take his opinion seriously? You can't, all right? If you're this pressed over a conversation, Star Wars discussions, with a guy, and you're worried about being viewed as a racist because you might get in a heated discussion with him, and he's a black guy, bruh, you got major issues. You got to get your ass off of the internet. You got to log off. No YouTube, no Twitter, no nothing. Get to a retreat somewhere and mellow out and self-reflect and find out who the hell it is you are. All right? That's a major problem, in my opinion.
Killing it.
All right? But there's another half of this. We're going to get to this other piece. I bet you this cat has never really sat down and really examined the shit that he says. He just has to spit it out there because, again, that's what gets him his access. That's what, Disney or whatever, Star Wars, Lucasfilm expects from him. So he has to just sit down and spit this shit out. I'll be interested to see this dude have an actual heart-to-heart conversation. That's what we was talking about the last time.
And again, I want to be clear because I have to say this. Do not go after anybody that I'm talking about in these videos. What you can do is you can go over to Kata's channel, which I will have a link to, and subscribe if you're interested. And you can go over to Derek Anderson, the DA's channel, and subscribe and show them some love. But I would never advocate for you to go harassing any of these clowns because let me just be honest with you, man. These Disney Star Wars shills, they got enough problems, okay? They got enough problems. We don't need to be sending no more their way because these people are seriously, they're operating in a different galaxy than us, and they're not here on Earth, man. They are in leftist land right now, and it is creepy and weird, and they need all the help they can get. So nobody needs to go over there and bother them.
Fine. I said, yo. Kyle Katarn, why instead of getting out here trying to demonetize people because he participated in that bullshit, hey, why don't you sit down and say, hey, Nerd Rodder, Gary, let's have a heart-to-heart. Sit down, man to man. Let's have a conversation about the shit that we disagree on instead of trying to cancel me and do all of that bullshit. But see, these guys are not men.
Very, very, very fair point from DA there, but I've been through that already with a lot of these clowns years ago when my channel started to take off. I did I think they were like 8-hour streams where essentially what I did is I gave an open call to anyone that hated me that they could just come in to the call. Like, let's just come in here and whatever issues you got with me, tell me. You think I'm a racist, you think I'm a sexist, you think I'm this, you think I'm that. 2 different 8-hour streams no holds barred in terms of like, if you wanted to come in there and talk to me, you could come in there and talk to me. And we did it. And it turned out to be like a bunch of these people that spend all day calling me racist and sexist wanted it. Once they got in there, it was like, hey, man, I really respect you. I just kind of disagree with you on this. And I'm like, what the fuck's the problem then? We disagree on some things. That's fine. Like, most of it, you can go, they're on Ryan's channel, but they're like, that's what it was. It was just like, and then like they would come in there and have like a normal conversation with me. And then like, as soon as it was over, they'd go back to like screaming about how I'm a racist and a sexist and I'm a horrible them. Some of them were cool, but it really was. Then one or two of them actually used like that moment, and they basically pretended to be friends with people in the community, and then they got into group chats and stuff, and then they started screenshotting the group chat conversations and posting them in other places. And I'm like, these leftists, man, they're just so fucking weird and deranged. So I just was like, there's no point in doing this anymore, because they're not coming there in good faith at all. They're just there to troll, or they're not going to back up half the shit they've been saying. So like if this Kyle Katarn clown, which I didn't know existed until all of this happened, but yeah, I've seen he's been like one of these guys that constantly calls us racist and sexist. I wouldn't give him the time of day, to be honest, just because they've been proven to be people that they're not really interested in a conversation from my experience.
And that's the problem. We are a severe lack of masculinity is going on in the world right now, man. All of this stuff is just wild to me, man. It is absolutely insane. Yeah, it's a total beta move.
I try not to say that term because, beta, alpha, whatever, I think it's kind of
honestly, bro, you understand what it is, because that's what it is.
But when I heard it, I'm like, beta. That's some beta shit. Like when Star Wars Theory was saying about Alex from Star Wars Explained, and it was how he was waking up in cold. Hey, Brandon, my boy. Hey, how he was saying that he was waking up in cold sweats because he was jealous of Star Wars Theory's success. That's some pussy shit, bro. You're a pussy, man. I can't.
Let me say this. Look, let me say this to every creator that's out there, okay? Because I wanted to make a video about it, but I'm really not, because I don't really want to like dive deep into this bullshit. But that dude right there, that Star Wars Explained shit, let me give you guys the telltale sign of somebody. When you see this type of shit, get moving, okay? Do not talk to that person. Do not any way engage with that motherfucker, because they are rotten to the core. And that dude was talking about Star Wars Theory's money.
Yep.
How much?
That's a deal breaker.
Done. I am done. If you out here, like, bruh, it's clear that this dude is only in it for the money, because why are you talking to me about money? We could talk about a million things. This cat came out and said, hey, man, how much money you making? How much bread you making? Blah, 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 blah. I was like, bruh, as soon as you hear that, it doesn't matter who you are. If you are in any creative space and you are dealing with a person that's asking you about how much money you making off of this shit, that is a rotten to the core. Get the hell away from that person, because look, they pocket watching, and this is one thing that I cannot stand, is somebody pocket watching.
Man, these guys know exactly what's going on, man. And I'm really glad that this has kind of put some light on guys like this, and hopefully they can continue to grow their channels from this, because they actually got a really good head on their shoulders and understand what's going on. And you have a lot of people, like, this is why I don't collab with a lot of big YouTubers, man, because like it's a jealousy game for the most part. Man, I've talked about this a lot. I've tried my best to try to shout people out along the way, help people when I can. I don't really do that as much as I used to. I really used to do that a couple years ago. But yeah, it gets really dirty, man. And you got a lot of people that are just willing to stab you in the back the moment they can. And that's just life. It's fine. It is what it is. It's not special or isolated to me or to YouTube per se, but it is definitely relevant in the YouTube world for sure.
Dude, dog, I swear.
That is snake in the grass shit right there. And that's exactly why this guy started attacking him, because he's pocket watching. All right. He's watching my pockets. He's worried about how much bread I'm bringing in, instead of worrying about doing what it is that he can do to build up his community, to build up his channel. No, and then he's a snake. All right. And that's exactly what happened to Theory. He's a fucking snake. Never deal with a pocket watcher. I swear to God, if somebody ever said to me, they chopping it up, they're talking about this, that, and the third, and then they want to come to me and start asking me about how much money I'm making, I'm like, yeah, man, you know, I don't really talk about how much money I'm making, and I'm done. Okay. I'm done with that person. Bruh, that's the worst part about all of this shit, man, is seeing that shit go down.
It doesn't matter any kind of instance. Like, if you working, if you doing like some kind of hustle.
And by the way, shout out to Kata for the 199 shirt. I see you. I know he's posted it a few times on Twitter too, so hell yeah.
Whatever. If anybody walk up and be like, hey, how much money you making? I don't want nothing to do with you, because that's all you thinking about. That's all. Now I can see you talking about, oh, or you know, I need help with a job.
DA's got a Disney Star or anti-Disney Star Wars on his shirt. Man, this picture right here is everything that the Disney Star Wars shills don't want, man. They really don't want this at all.
Or this, that, and the third. Okay, maybe I can help you out. But you talk about we in the same profession, and you like, hey, man, how much money you making on this? How much money you making on that? Nigga, that ain't none of your business.
None of your fucking business.
Don't pocket watch me. That is a quick way to piss me off. Don't ever ask me about no money. Ever.
I've dealt with those kinds my entire life. And see, if Theory had peeped that out in the very beginning, he never would have dealt with that cat again. He would have peeped that out, and he would have been ghosted. He never would have had to worry about this dude stabbing his ass in the back. These people, I'm telling you guys, if there's one thing I can tell you, all right, that was my biggest takeaway from that. That motherfucker was a pocket watcher from day one. Never deal with them cats, okay? Because they are snakes. They're trying to basically get over on you. They're trying to take information and knowledge from you and use it against you. Okay. Yes. Those are the worst kind of people. And they'll completely pretend like they're a friend. That's how he approached him. Oh, yeah, you know, we homies, blah, 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 blah. Okay, nah. They are cold snakes in the grass. Never deal with a pocket watcher. Okay. And that's what I'm telling you, man. I saw it. I heard that. I was like, there it go right there. That's why you never trust them cats.
Once you hear that, you're like, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. Like, if you don't, I hope y'all never deal with an individual like that that's like money hungry above all else. I hope you never deal with that, because that kind of person is draining and they're fake as hell. Like, the moment something happens, they will drop you on a dime for money. And I can't mess with you like that, man.
But yeah, like I said, I was going to sit down and make a video about this, and then I was like, nah, but like, I guess this is the video that I'm making. That's one of the biggest red flags ever, okay? And a lot of folks won't understand this, but once you live enough life, anybody that's talking to you about how much money you're making, watch that person extraordinarily carefully. Be very cautious around that individual. And if there's somebody that's someone in a competitive space with you, and they're trying to see how much money you're making based on what it is that you're doing, run, get away. Don't talk to that individual anymore, you know, because they are watching your pocket.
And a lot of that was what I talked about with how I tried to do these hater streams. I think the first one we called a hater stream. The second one I tried to make it a little more like less confrontational, even though I'm a confrontational person. I can't remember what the second one was, but bottom line is I learned real quick that like guys that are constantly calling people racist and sexist on social media and working in those little corners of the internet, they genuinely are not interested in a conversation in any capacity whatsoever. There's no good faith involved. There's always ulterior motives that are involved in whatever they're doing. So there's just no point to talk to a lot of these clowns. And that's something I've learned years ago.
And they are going to do everything in their power to try to undermine what it is that you're doing. I mean, again, I don't mind giving advice, and I don't think other people mind giving advice either, in terms of, okay, how are things working for you? What things do you recommend? You know, where should I be looking? Blah, blah, whatever. Just any kind of helpful advice that you could give to anyone. You know, I don't think anybody minds that. But when you start asking somebody, hey, how much money did you make off of this? How much money did you make off of that video? How much money did you make in book sales? You know, or how much money or this or this? And it's like, now I don't even want to talk to you, okay? Because instead of you working on the craft and, you know, building your platform up, or working on the novel, or working on the video, or trying to figure out what's the best thing to edit, or thumbnails, or whatever, like, all of that stuff is fine. That's talking shop. But when you're talking about how much money I'm bringing in, and it's not even a matter of, well, it's a lot or a little or whatever. It's the fact that you are inquiring about it and
you find out real quick, like, they're not really there to help. And that's really what that comes down to. I'm going to leave a link to Derek Anderson and Kata's YouTube channels. And yeah, man, I really appreciate both these guys for showing what type of person. Again, this is a guy who tag team YouTube, who decided that because I have opinions that he disagrees with, suddenly I have to be taken down for racism. Meanwhile, he blocks any person that's black that disagrees with him because he can't have a conversation with a black guy that disagrees with him. Think about that for a minute. Think about that. That is absolutely twisted and effed up. But guess what? I still think you should have a YouTube channel. I still think you should have a Twitter account, Kyle Katarn, because I think people should see all the dumb shit you say. And I think the internet should be able to watch it and make their own decisions. And if you got people that support you, good for you. But I kind of feel like the more people that see you for what you are, I got a feeling that there's going to be a lot of people that don't like you because those that preach the loudest have the most to hide. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.